Right, okay, I tell you what. I'm going to sort of describe the backstory, and at some point we'll just drop into the game. So what's happened so far is that you've descended into this fissure, again having no idea why you're there.
Encountered a giant fucking spider.
Well, I'm not going to harp too much on the issue, but specifically because Christopher wouldn't listen to any of the advice that was offered to him or available to him from the watchman who actually gave him the mission, and who he was specifically told to speak to by Omin Dran, the person who originally gave him the mission.
Yeah, he just pressed skip.
You've made your skip cutscene. You've ended up down in the tunnel. You've been doing really good. You wrote really good rolls. You've taken care of really
good rolls. Bullshit.
Well, everyone but you. Although you did rip the skull.
You and Christopher in those fucking pools, Jesus.
You did
God.
rip the skull out of a mummy. Admit that the mummy was sort of like the jar was loosened for you, but you did rip the skull out of a mummy's face and then hurl it at an unwitting Davina, who was lucky that she has an AC of 16 without a shield. Thanks to the half plate armor that she picked up in the Acquisitions Incorporated.
I have a feeling Davina's just going to like fuck this shit and walk out. Bye.
I don't know what Davina's going to do. She's by documancy you own her.
Army of the Dead.
By documancy you own her until, during, and after her death. And in fact, you also own her soul. So, you know, she could try and run away, but documancy would probably prevent her from doing that. In some roundabout way, she would find the winds of change blowing in her direction. But you have bested this giant tentacle that came from the other world, came from the far realm. Now, as my investigation of the different realms and planes has been going, I've discovered, in fact I knew this quite a while ago, that the far realm is a terrible, terrible place. It's where everything dies. It's just tentacles and teeth, basically, of all different varieties and colours. And once you're in the far realm, you've got about a lifespan of 12 seconds.
Fair.
And that's being hopeful. Dre, are you playing a racing game?
No, I just farted.
I think Charlie's keeping a straight face because that was actually a motorbike on his road. But he knows that it would be funnier if there was no explanation for the sound. So you've bested this tentacle from the far realm, which would have insta-killed you. If you getting dragged to the far realm is insta-death, as Dre asked in the last episode, and it was confirmed. Oops, don't do that. Got a phone, that's good. Got this, let's get Wingway up, and let's drop back into the game. You have just moved from the tentacle area, and you've moved up. You've gone through. You came in on the entrance from the west, and killing nearly all of the feet, you exited the other side and carried on. Oh yeah, Dungeon Master mistake number 398. Kayla, turn undead does not make them do what you say, it just makes them run away from you.
Oh well.
There you go. So in future, that will be the way it will work. You made it round.
At least we have fun with the beat.
You made it round the tentacle area, and you went into a very small maze of caverns. But you made your way through that quite easily, and have ended up walking along a straight passage that leads to another cavern. But as you're approaching the entrance, or a bit of time before you reach the entrance, your little pseudo-dragon jumps out of your pocket and flaps around a little bit in a circle, and then flies straight down the tunnel and into the cavern ahead. It succeeded on its stealth check, but what you get, what your little pseudo-dragon is sending you, is telepathic images of a dragon, and it's sending you sort of messages of sort of like feelings of concern. It can't speak in a language in your head, but it can send you images. I just think that's true, isn't it? Yeah. Ideas, emotions, images. It's basically trying to tell you that there's a dragon up ahead, and the dragon is in danger. And it sends you some images of the creatures that are endangering the dragon. And I haven't got a picture, but I do have. I might have a picture. Let's just have a look, because you would have received this, and all of you would receive this, because the pseudo dragon can communicate with all of you. Here it is. It's sending you an image of this guy.
That's a dragon?
No. This is what it's telling you is attacking the dragon.
Oh, okay.
So yes, and you would get an image of the dragon as well, but of course the dragon might not look like this, because this is a dragon sitting by the ocean.
That's a pretty dragon.
But it's a bronze dragon, and bronze dragons and all your natural history of any of you would know that bronze dragons were friendly to humans, and they're not just going to roast you alive when they see you.
Well, that's good.
In fact, metal dragons often are used in combat because they'll often have alliances, like good. Their alliance is often good, and so they'll often help protect cities and things like that. But they're actually not as powerful as some of the eviler dragons. The red dragons and the green dragons are sometimes more evil. But anyway, you've got this image in your head. There's a dragon. The dragon is trapped. You're not exactly sure how and what way. The pseudo-dragon hasn't explained that well enough to you with just the pictures and emotions that you're getting. A lot of this is emotional stuff. It's telling you good dragon, bad enemies. And you guys have an opportunity to try and approach the entrance to the cavern stealthily. If you would like to give me stealth checks. Wingway made his. Davina made hers.
7.
Plus what?
Oh, that's bad.
No, this one's worse. 3.
Plus what?
You said stealth, yeah?
I did say stealth.
Plus 1.
That's what. Okay, I'm afraid that the
That's
tanks
8.
fail the stealth check.
Well, that's no surprise considering how big we are.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not very stealthy.
But even though you fail the stealth check, that just means that they've heard you. They're not in a position to see you coming yet. They would have to move into position. You can't just see them through the way, so they've got no idea what's coming. But because they've heard you.
Oh no! As they've heard me, I'm going to step 5 feet away from everyone else and just cast Thunderclap.
Okay, so that they really know that you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So that's cantrip anyway. So you're not using up anything. You cast Thunderclap. Are you doing it using the Odyssey, or are you just doing it using your?
Using Odyssey.
Okay, that's great. Do you want to roll me a D100?
Yeah. 68.
68. I'm afraid you don't get it. But what's the Odyssey going to do instead? What would it? I don't really know much more than you at the moment because it hasn't seen anything, and it hasn't had these.
All I want to do is make a loud noise.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because the Odyssey has not received the information from the pseudo dragon, so the Odyssey doesn't know what's coming up. I think Odyssey is just going to cast like. Odyssey's going to cast Dancing Lights.
Alright, so I get some pyrotechnics with the Thunderclap.
Yeah. It's going to cast Dancing Lights in the cavern ahead of you. Because, as I say, the Odyssey doesn't know shit. So the Odyssey might just want to be like, right, okay, I want to see what's happening. Why is he even doing a Thunderclap, you know?
Alright, so slightly off-key chord followed by some lights just flowing down the cavern.
That's good. Right, now that you've cast that, I think that it's time for everybody to roll initiative.
Do I still get advantage on initiative?
You do still get advantage on initiative rolls.
11.
And did you roll it twice?
Cool.
19.
Well, I'm getting my shit rolls out the way early.
Triazamine, did you get 19 plus 1?
It's insight, isn't it?
It's
Initiative.
Initiative.
Yeah, but on the list, what would it be under?
Initiative. It's just next to your AC, and it is plus 1.
Oh yeah, plus 1.
Yeah, there you go. Initiative. So you're 19 plus 1, which is 20, which is great. Dragon, what's yours?
I got 4 and a plus 1, so 5.
I thought you had plus 2 on initiative. You do have plus 2 on initiative, Dragon.
Oh, I do. Oh, yeah, I read the wrong one. My bad.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. So you got the 6.
I too got 6.
Oh, you guys might be able to work in concert if you were able to communicate properly or telepathically, which you can't. So unless you can see a good opportunity, let's go for.
Can I look at Dragon and ask him to flip a coin?
No. You guys can think about the situation.
See which one of us gets him.
You guys can think about the situation as it happens when you're in combat.
All right.
Davina got 7. And Wingway got 15.
I think we might be getting fucked up here, guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you, me, and Davina definitely are.
Well, it depends on the actions of Triezamine, and since she is at the top of the order... Oh, let's roll for the pseudo-dragon as well. Okay, the pseudo-dragon, does it get any bonus to... Nope. Okay, so the pseudo-dragon comes at 12.
Sorry about the barking. That's the dog next door.
That's okay. I mean, we are city dwellers. These are things we have to put up with. If we were in the country, it'd be sheep.
Well, it'd be shot. But hey.
Okay, Triezamine, you are more than 30 feet from the entrance to the cavern.
Ooh.
So until you finish this mission, I'm going to continue giving you little bits of nit bits of information and tips. That means that you can't enter the cavern and still have an action. So you can't actually get into the cavern and still be able to do anything once you get there.
Well, that sucks.
So you might want to, instead of going all the way into the cavern, go your 30 feet and then ready an action or something like that. Like I say, I'm not going to be giving you these tips and things after the end of this mission, but until the end of it, I think you still deserve the benefit of the noob. We're noob factor 100 right now. That's what this playlist is called on YouTube. And after this chapter, it will be noob factor 10, and I don't think at noob factor 10 I should be helping you out all the time. And once we get out of noob factor, Charlie's going to lose his ability to metagame as well. So that's the cost of progress. So what would you like to do, Triezamine? Now I've given you a little taste of what's to come. You can't get into the cavern on this turn. It's a good 50 feet into the cavern to get to the cavern from where you are.
Yeah, so I just walk the 30 feet.
You can see that it opens up. You can see that it opens up because there are many sort of, as you've seen in different parts of the cavern, different parts of the places you've been coming through, there are various sort of funguses that grow in the natural caverns that give off a luminous sort of blue, maybe green tinged light. But of course the good old Odyssey has cast dancing lights into the cavern anyway, so you can see the cavern and where it starts. So you can see you're about 50 feet away from it.
Yeah, I think I'll just walk into the cavern and then ready my sword.
You can't walk into the cavern and ready an action.
You can walk just in front.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
The door.
You can't get to the cavern.
Yeah, so I walk the 30 feet and then ready my sword.
Walk 30 feet and then ready an action. Okay, so you're still 20 feet from being in the thing. Wingway's going to do the same thing. Wingway's going to walk 30 feet and then he's going to ready a spell. Wingway, let's just have a look. History check for Wingway. Just want to make sure he knows what this creature is, because he's very learned, is Wingway. You know, he's read a lot. Oh no, but he gets to re-roll. Still, he doesn't know what the fuck you're coming up against. He just knows dragon and things that hurt dragons, and he doesn't know what the fuck these monsters are. But if he thinks that if it's putting a dragon in trouble, then he'd better ready a fireball. So Wingway's ready to fireball.
Just before I lose my ability to metagame.
Yep. No, you won't lose it for 3 more chapters.
Yeah, but just to point this out to Wingway now. If it's fighting a dragon and winning, perhaps it might be slightly resistant to fireball.
Bronze dragons don't cast fire, and Wingway knows that.
All right.
Only
cool.
red dragons that breathe fire, Charlie.
What do the bronze dragons do? Is it just
Bronze dragons
tin?
breathe lightning.
Mm.
And they also swim and can turn into can magically change their shape into aquatic creatures. So they can turn into dolphins, porpoise, or fish, or whales and things like that.
What?
They can even this is really cool. They can even turn themselves into a little rat, sneak aboard a ship, and and maybe sort of go, oh, this ship's got a lot of treasure.
I'm happy with the dolphin.
Yeah, well, that's what you've got at the moment. You know that it's a bronze dragon, and the stories you would have been told as children, you would know this about bronze dragons. They breathe lightning, and they're generally good. They'll help in the defense of cities. But they're expensive.
Wait, they breathe lightning and we're all wearing plate armor?
They're expensive to maintain if you want to keep one as a pet.
Hold up. We're wearing plate armor and we're about to go off a bronze dragon that breathes lightning.
You're not going to attack a bronze dragon. The bronze dragon is the one that's in danger.
Okay.
Your pseudo dragon has communicated this to you. Bronze dragon in danger, being attacked by these big wiggly squid things. Don't hurt the dragon. He's really nice. Big squid things, really bad. Right? That's what you're getting from the pseudo dragon. So you know you're not in danger from the dragon. Pseudo dragon's probably also in psychic contact with the dragon as well, and probably saying, don't worry, I've got my mates coming. Right, so the dragon probably knows that you're on the way as well. Although you're not certain of that. The pseudo dragon can't give you information on that depth. It can only, as I say, communicate simple ideas, emotions, and pictures. So, my friend dragon, him in trouble, big squiddy things, help, help, help. Okay, so Wingway has moved 30 feet up. He's next to you, Triazamine, and he's readied Fireball. And he's going to fire that Fireball as soon as he sees any fucking thing move at the end of the tunnel. He's going to fire it. He's going to fire it 25 feet into the room, and he lets you guys know this because he doesn't want any of you to run into the area where he's preparing to cast the Fireball.
When is your action started, Treasmin? The one that you've ready?
30 feet and I ready.
Treasmin already did her thing. Oh yeah. What's the action that you're preparing, Treasmin?
I just get my sword out.
Okay, so you're not prepared. Okay, good. You've got your sword out. I can understand why you wouldn't want to switch to a dagger because it doesn't really do that much damage.
Right now, I want my biggest weapon.
You could prepare an action like dodge, even though that wouldn't even be preparing action. It would just mean that you would be able to dodge anything that came your way, which would give any attacker a disadvantage on an attack roll against you. I think it's probably the best thing you can do now. You can't really hide. You failed your stealth check. There's nothing really else available to you at this point other than run forward. But again, that would be useless.
Oh, she could ready an action for if something comes within 5 feet of her.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So she could ready a longsword. So if something comes within 5 feet. Which I'm assuming is the range.
I approve this message. The pseudo dragon is going to send you images because it's the pseudo dragon's turn right now. it's still kind of hiding, so it's not going to move. But it's going to send you messages saying along the lines of, "Watch out, they heard you."
Yeah, good.
Which
was the intention.
Yep. And oh yeah, I've got to roll that on, haven't I? Okay, that's works pretty well. Okay, one of these creatures looks in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these creatures moves so that it can see what's coming through the tunnel, and so it comes into so you can all see it now because it's lit by the fairy lights. It's a large sort of squid-like creature that just is hovering in the air, and it looks at you, and it can't see what's down the passageway because it's too dark to see down the. I don't think it. I'm just going to make sure. I don't think this thing has dark sight. It has blind sight, 60 feet. So this thing sees you straight off. Davina and Wingway. It sees Davina and Wingway, and it immediately casts. It casts a darkness aura. So basically, it casts. Yep.
Sorry, isn't that within reach of Wingway's fireball?
It is, but both Wingway's attack and this thing come at the same time. So I'm going to say what it's casting.
Yeah, I was just making sure you hadn't forgotten his fireball ready.
I think you're right, actually, Charlie. It used a movement to get in range. As soon as it was in range, Wingway fired his fireball, and then it would cast this thing. So yeah, I think you're right. Wingway fires his fireball first. Okay. So Wingway's going to let off a fireball. That's 3rd level spell.
3rd level, Jesus.
And the creatures, I believe, have got to make a Dex saving throw of 16. Let's see what they would have got. There's a few sixes in there. There's 26 damage. But they take, I think they take half of that if they make their Dex saving throw. Yes, they do. So they've got to make a Dex saving throw of 16. I don't think they've got extra dexterity. No, they don't. They've got stealth. So just a flat D20. Nope. And let's see, was the other one in range of that? Fireball is how many meters across?
You can't.
"20 foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, the other one was in 20 feet too. So there's 2 D16 saving throws. That one got a 17, so that's half. So the first one that he was aiming at got a 17, so it's saved. The next one got a 2. It's dead. But the first one got 13 damage. So that's I think. So it took 13 damage from that, because it made its savings throw, and now it is going to cast darkness on itself. This is like a protective action that it does. It casts a 15-foot radius magical darkness sphere that extends out on it. It's got a... Well, I'm not going to tell you. If any of you know about darkness, then you know what happens here. Okay, cool. So the creature that you saw in front of you is suddenly erupts in flames from Wingway's fireball, and but then as soon as the flames subside, you see just an area of darkness, like impenetrable darkness that the dancing lights can't penetrate. This will make it hard for you to hit the creature that's inside.
So basically, like avoiding a black hole in space.
It's just darkness.
Impossible.
If you step inside it, it's not like you can't. If you step inside it, it's not going to hurt you. I mean, the creature might hurt you, but being inside the black hole isn't going to hurt you. It's just you're standing in darkness. And I don't know, maybe you could, if you were in difficult terrain, you might trip over or something like that, but it's not difficult terrain. Okay, next, who have we got? Is Davina. Davina's just like, she's how far away at the moment? Davina's like 70 feet from the entrance to the cave. Davina comes just before you and Dragon, so that's okay. The other one's dead, isn't it?
What? Did the fireball just take it out?
Yeah, it missed its savings throw, and it was literally just on the edge of where it was going to explode. How far does Guiding Bolt throw? Guiding Bolt goes 120 feet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell you, there's obviously been a problem with my D&D Beyond, because it's reset all my stealth spell slots. I didn't tell it to do that.
Might have been an update.
Might have been the update, yeah. Okay, well, you roll with the punches. I don't believe Davina has cast any third level spells this game, so there we go. She's going to cast a third level Guiding Bolt at the creature that's inside the darkness, but she does get a disadvantage on that.
Yeah, she has no idea where in the darkness it is.
Yeah, exactly. And the only reason I'm doing this at third level is because I think that she didn't do 4 first level spells. I'm gonna fire this at first level. Okay. She got a 20 on the first one. That would be a hit. What about the second one? She got a 20 on the second one as well. 14 plus 14. Plus 14 and a 14. Great. Okay, well, she hit the fucker. And she rolled a lot of 5s. Okay. Well, those difficult enemies that I made for you just died.
Guys, does anyone really appreciate the fact that Wingway and Davina just took out two?
One of them was invisible. Wasn't even invisible.
Did anyone else throw a punch?
Nope.
Frisbee's still there with a sword ready.
defended Davina.
This is the other three just look round at each other and go,
Shall we just go back? I think they got this.
pub?
Yeah, pub. I'm a
16 large giant rats emerge from the oh no, yeah, awakened by the thunderclap. I'll come up with something. Because that wasn't supposed to happen. These were supposed to be enemies that were impossible to bloody hit, and but they just died. Davina rolled one 6 and 3 5s.
Jesus. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. And she rolled a 20 on both of her attempts to hit this creature in darkness. So, yeah. Sorry for those of you who were looking forward to some action. Maybe instead you'll enjoy it.
I think we should roll low initiative more.
What'd you say?
Dragon. I think we should roll low initiative more frequently.
Yes, there you go. You just don't have to do anything. This is just a drinking game for you now, Charlie.
Yeah, this is great.
Okay. You enter the chamber. All of you, I'm going to say. Maybe you sort of pop your heads up like Scooby-Doo, you know. Look around the corner. Obviously Davina at the bottom. Probably Dragon at the top. Dragon, so Davina, Charlie, Christopher, I'll drink for that.
Drink.
Wingway, Triazamine, Dragon.
What?
Is Wingway taller than you, Christopher? How tall are you?
5'10".
I think Wingway is about the same height as you. It doesn't really matter. He's on his tiptoes. Okay, a small bronze.
I'm just pushing his hat out of the way.
Yeah, Wingway's just like, get off my fucking hat. Wingway's attached to his hat. A small bronze-coloured dragon thrashes madly at the far end of the cavern, trapped between two large boulders that block the northern tunnel. You need to read the rest. Another tunnel is also blocked with rubble. Only a tunnel to the east stands clear of debris. Now, the dragon looks to you with gratitude. You can see
Christopher waves.
Yep. It kind of waves you back. It's one of its wings is trapped under a boulder, and there's another boulder kind of on its chest. So it hasn't. It's sort of gasping for air.
It's just got one wing up in the air. Other one.
It's kind of gasping for air, which probably explains why it wasn't able to use its breath weapon to damage any of you. You also notice.
Can we try and move the rock?
Oh yes, you can do that.
We try and move the rock?
I'm just telling you what you notice before you before you even reach that. You notice that its scales are quite light coloured, indicating, and it's sort of some of its scales are light coloured, some of its scales are more dark bronze. This indicates that this is a dragon that is a baby dragon that's going through puberty.
Oh, we got a teenager.
Yeah, it's in the process of transforming from a baby into a young dragon.
Someone find its diary.
Okay, so you Dragon, your suggestion was
To try and try and move the boulders off.
You want to try and move the
Yeah.
boulders? Okay. Are you going to do this on your own, or are you going to try and do this with somebody else helping you?
Would prefer Kayla or Trezamine to do it.
Right.
Jessamine, do you want to help? Do you want to help Dragon to move a boulder, or is it? Are we back to the stage? I don't do the
How
heavy
far
lifting.
away am I?
Oh, you're out of combat now, so you can just do whatever you want. Dungeons
Oh.
and Dragons, back to whatever you want to do. Theatre of the imagination.
I think she fell asleep for a bit.
No.
You told me that you couldn't sleep.
I'm
This is the
cracking.
answer. You see, you just when you can't sleep, just
Yeah,
call me.
I'll
I'll run a quick. I'll run a quick campaign. You'll be off.
I need to make another coffee. How big is this boulder, and can I break it with the?
It's got the dragon underneath.
Whilst you may be able to break it, if you were to hammer onto
Yeah.
it would be kind of like hammering
Yeah,
a
with
nail.
like the end of my sword. Like,
Yeah, if you
like
were to
that.
do that, you might be able to break it. Probably not. You've had bad experiences with granite feet. But
Oh yeah.
the thing is, if you were to hammer on top of it, it would be like hammering a large nail into a living creature. So I'm gonna have you roll a lunacy check.
I knew that was coming. Oop, there goes the plug.
That's not
19!
You got a 19 plus 7.
Yeah.
Yep, it's still plus 7. Okay, so
Yep.
that's a 26. You think that you can get through this? You think that you can smash this boulder in half just by hitting it with your long
With the end
sword?
of my sword.
You run up and you
Wait,
just smash.
Wait. Can Christopher use his last remaining moment of metagaming and say, hit it on the side?
Yeah,
I'm
sideways,
afraid
not down.
no metagaming gets past Davina's lunacy. And look, okay, you can roll a metagaming check, straight D1, straight D20 plus nothing, and see if you can beat a 25. Sorry, a 27.
Can I use persuasion?
Does that give you a plus 6?
It gives me a plus 9.
Yeah, go on in.
Yeah.
What you roll a 1?
Nope.
Okay.
She ignores me.
Davina smashes the rock as hard as she can with her
You mean Triazamine, not Davina?
Triazamine, I'm sorry. Smashes the rock as hard as she can with the sharp side of her.
No, not the sharp side.
She wanted to use the pummel.
Oh, the
Pummel
pummel
bit.
with the pummel of the thing. Okay. You're
At least then I won't actually like damage my weapon.
You're not going for the rock that's on its wing. You're going for the rock that's on its chest. And
Oh, God.
the dragon takes
Do we
1
kill
point.
the dragon?
The dragon takes 1 point of damage from that.
I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry. I'm a lunatic.
The dragon's just like, I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
This is when you realise that the dragon can speak common. So yeah, it can definitely speak common, but the only thing it's said to you so far is, "Oh, I can't breathe." Okay, Drago, do you want to try and lift this boulder? You said.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
Because it makes a little bit more sense.
Give me your strength check.
Yep.
D20 plus your strength modifier. Unless you want to put a little bit of sauce on this, make it some sort of acrobatics thing. I don't know if you can do anything fun like that.
No.
Okay.
I'm definitely not going to try and use charisma.
You haven't got anything really much that's better than your
Strength.
Yeah, your sleight of hand is actually pretty good, but your strength is plus 3. Yeah.
My sleight of hand won't really work on a boulder.
17.
Charlie,
so
Charlie,
20.
17 plus 20. Okay, you don't need help. Yeah. Okay.
No. 17 plus 3.
Yeah, 17 plus 3. Yeah, so it equals 20. Okay, that's great. I was going to suggest that Christopher gave you some assistance, but unnecessary.
No, he's got this.
Your mighty strength is enough to lift this boulder. Not even rolling it. You know, if you
Just yeet.
roll a boulder off
Just
of something,
one
then it
hand.
might catch it a bit. Ow, that pinched. Yeah, you just lift this boulder off of this baby dragon, and just move it just far enough so that it's no longer on the dragon's chest. There's one more boulder.
Teenage dragon.
Yeah, he's a teeny bopper. He's a teeny
Oh,
bopper.
God.
He's a teeny bopper at the moment.
So as Dre lifts off the boulder, all you see is like his wing come up and like TikTok appear in front of his face.
No, he took off the one that was on his chest, so he breathes in and says, "Thank you, that was very nice of you."
Ah.
Why did that
Oh.
sound like Pete?
Because he's going through puberty. So his voice is going really high and low. I can't do the squeaky teenage voice
Puffin
thing.
Magic Dragon. There we go. Not Pete. Wrong dragon.
Okay, there's another boulder that's on top of the dragon's wing.
I thought one boulder got smashed.
No, it didn't get smashed. Davina
Oh, it just got smacked into
it
it.
just got smacked on the top and it damaged the dragon that was underneath it.
Right, okay. I thought it might have smashed in the process, but okay.
No.
No.
I'm going to tell you right now, at level 5, none of you can roll a damage roll that will break a rock.
Ah.
Might need some sort of,
Oh well.
I don't know, maybe if yeah, I'm going to say, like, you know, granite rocks, things that have, you know, otherwise you could just hack your way through the tunnels that were rubbled up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Davina, how strong are you?
Davina is, I think she's actually quite strong, and she's quite small. Yeah, she's got a strength of +4. She's stronger than Dragon.
Dragon, sorry, Davina, go get the fucking boulder off, would you?
Davina goes to take the boulder. Do any of you want to assist her with this?
I'm alright.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I
Do
can.
it herself.
Okay, Dragon's going to assist her, so she gets this with advantage, which is good because she rolled nothing on the first roll, but she rolled an 18 on the second roll. So she and Dragon together lift this boulder off the wing, and they have to take it a bit further because the wing's a bit delicate, you know. And they put it down by the side. And this dragon, it stands up, and it tries to look haughty and majestic, but it is bloodied as fuck.
Dragon.
It's bloodied
Dragon.
like hell. It's been ripped. There's
Alright,
tears in its wings.
I'm gonna walk up to said Mr. Dragon, say, "Hello, mate. What's your name?" Tap him on the shoulder and cast this bad boy. I hope.
What's that you're casting?
So there we go. So cure wounds, 17 healing.
Very good. Okay.
Why? I only took 1 point.
Oh,
now,
and Dre, it was a 2 for persuasion that I rolled
Oh.
to try and get one better than what you guessed.
Fair.
So you rolled 17, did you, Charlie?
The healing of 17, yeah.
That's brilliant. This wormling dragon no longer looks bloodied, and
I still asked him what his name was.
he
Probably
says his
looking
name
grateful.
is Dabshaba.
Dabshaba.
My name is
Dabshaba.
Dabshaba.
My name is Dabshaba.
Yeah, you're going to do a much better impression of this dragon than I am, Charlie, I think. Anyway,
Go, you know.
the dragon tells you very proudly that she's nearly 6. Is it a she or a he? I think it's a she. It's a she.
Why is its voice breaking?
Because dragons turn from wormlings, which are babies, into young dragons, which are much more powerful at the age of 6.
But no. Why is her voice breaking?
And that's a good point. It's a he.
Cool.
It's a he. So Dabshabai is a he. And she shares the story of how she got there. She says that she was flying with her siblings near her mother's territory, and a green dragon attacked her and her siblings, and her sibling separated them, right? And her siblings, she hopes, managed to get back to her mother's territory, but she sought refuge in the coastline of the Sword Coast, which was very near to Waterdeep, and she found some caverns and worked her way through these caverns until this point where there was suddenly an earthquake and rocks landed on her. She was already damaged by the green dragon, and the earthquake almost killed her. And these squid-like monsters started to harass her, and she got the impression that they were kind of waiting for her to die so that they could eat her, rather than sort of like scavengers, you know, like scavengers circling the prey as it dies in the desert. But she's very grateful to you for helping her, and she's even more grateful to the pseudo dragon, who she loves like a sister now. Is your pseudo dragon male or female, Tresmin?
Female, I think.
Female. She loves it. He loves the pseudo dragon like a. And this is canon. What's the pseudo dragon's name?
Hold up. Where is it?
Got it written down.
Yeah, somewhere.
Isn't it Trixabel? It's something like that. It's Jezebel.
Yeah, Jezebel.
Yep. So he very much likes the pseudo dragon, because the pseudo dragon gave him telepathic comfort while he was lying in there, and told him, "Don't worry, my friends are coming, and I'll get them." Right. So he thinks the pseudo dragon is the bee's knees, and he likes all of you guys a lot. She tells you what has happened to her.
Okay.
He tells you, yeah, sorry, keep correcting me. He tells you what's happened to her since she got pinned by these rocks. Did I just say it again?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm going to stop reading and just tell you the story. I don't need to read, I know the story. So, why does this dragon have to choose a gender? You know, maybe it's non-binary.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
Oh, come on. Alright, I'll allow it, seeing as it's Pride Month.
Yeah,
I'll allow it.
What happened
Okay,
to
so
Right,
this dragon of unknown gender says
It's an Ewig.
she says she saw another human walk through here 2 days ago. It was an armed and armoured female human. And as she describes this person, you think, oh, this has got to be the sergeant. And I'm imagining that you've rolled a survival check. You can see that the footprints go down to the south. The dragon was afraid that the human would slay her, so she just kept silent in the darkness, which was too far away for the lamplight to reach. And that's that. You can all see perfectly well because of the dancing lights that are still dancing around in this cavern, making a kind of disco atmosphere. Yes, I wanted to say something more trendy than disco, but
no, it's especially with the dancing off the dragon's scales.
Well,
so it's like a disco ball effect going on.
Meow.
Davina,
Come on, man.
Seeing that you did your Davina, seeing that you did your very cool healing spell upon the dragon, wants to do it as well, and she's like, I'm going to do a prayer of healing. Is this okay with you, Kayla? You're going to let you're going to let her do the healing and not you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It. Why not?
Hi,
Rena.
Okay, so Davina is going to cast a spell of healing, prayer of healing, and I think prayer of healing hits all of you, right? So you will all regain this much this many hit points. 13. Okay, so everyone regains 13 hit points.
Cool. Back at full health.
You're all full health, that's good. The dragon is not quite full health.
Kitty butt.
The dragon's you
Rena, we just settled.
If you did a lay on hands, Kayla, you would be able to detect that this creature only needed another 3 hit points to top it off. Do you want to top it off to full health?
Yeah, go on then.
There you go. It might love you a bit more.
All the love.
All the love. Okay, great.
So considering you took 1 health off of it to start with.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come here, Rena.
Okay, all the...
Can we befriend the dragon?
Well, this is what I was going to say.
Part of our squad.
The dragon is now particularly enamoured with the pseudo-dragon, Christopher, for the health that you gave her, Davina and Triezamine. She loves
and
you,
Dragon moving
because
the
you
rocks.
lifted the rock off of her chest. Wingway, she's not too concerned about, but Wingway doesn't really care that much. But Wingway says, "Hi, I cast the fireball that killed
destroyed everything,
killed those squiddy things." And the Dashabar's like, "Oh, thank you so much. Those things were going to eat me." And as the dragon reaches full health, you see this sort of wave go down her back, kind of like, a dog when it just gives a shiver like that. And you see that it's light-coloured scales that haven't quite turned deep bronze yet, just go into bronze. So the whole dragon goes bronze, and the dragon not levels up. It completes its transformation from a baby dragon into a young bronze dragon, and visibly almost expands in front of you in size.
I'm hoping that, considering the non-binary nature of this dragon, I'm hoping that there's some drag queen aspect to it, and it looks like it's like from RuPaul's Drag Race. Like,
I think that
proper makeup and everything.
I think that Christopher, since he's there in the room, and I'm just some random narrator, Christopher can certainly describe this transformation for us in much better detail than I would be able to. So go ahead, Christopher. Explain the transformation of this dragon from wormling to
the transformation, as you were saying, the light, uncoloured scales, or not fully formed scales, slowly flap downwards. And as they do, they show a lovely pattern that sort of resembles a dress. And then, as the dress forms around this dragon, you see its eyes grow and
Eyelashes.
you see eyelashes, form, but come out and spiral outwards to the extent that it looks like almost like horn-rimmed glasses, but not quite. And the scales on its head just go
Very nice.
into this lovely peacock-esque plumage, and then it does a slut drop.
What? It does a what?
Slut drop.
What's that?
A slut drop.
I don't know what that is. I'm out of the loop, guys. I'm not trending. It's a slut drop.
Oh my god, slut drop. Basically, she drops down on her ass.
And then rises slowly back up.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
you know how women drop when they dance?
I've got to. Okay, fine.
Stripper booty drop.
This is very cool.
And do you know what? From that description that Charlie's just given, all I can see in my head is Rock Drake from Ark because of the peacock plumage.
Yeah, a little bit.
I just let you know that the dragon's head has a ribbed and fluted crest on its head.
Excellent.
Curving horns extend out from the
That's it.
crest, echoed by spines on its lower jaw and chin. These are, as you look at them, you can see that it's these would be good for swimming. These would be drag.
Yeah, the tail, as you see it, the scales continue to peter down in a domino-esque fashion. But as they peter down, although you get the general idea that it's bronze, if you look closely, it's very clearly rainbow-coloured.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's like, you know, when you get those
Definitely.
cars
It's a pride flag. If you look
that's
closely
good.
at it,
Good
the
for
distance
pride,
is bronze.
Month. Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to say that's okay. It's like if you look at it from a different angle and just get the light to glint off of it in the right way, you can see the rainbow coming off of it. Brilliant. Okay, so we're saying that this dragon is non-gender specific, and if you look at it in just the right, if you look at it from just the right angle, it's rainbow coloured, like those cars that you can't tell if they're blue or purple. You know, you see them.
Just the tail has got the rainbow on it. The rest of it is
Hyperchromatic is what you're after.
What's it called?
Hyperchromatic.
Hyperchromatic. Well, you learn something new every day.
Or as they like to call it, hypershift.
Very cool. Okay. Now I'm gonna table talk this a little bit. How you treat this dragon will determine whether or not you might be able to get in touch with it again in the future. It could even become a common NPC for your campaign, were you to get into the right situations. Anyone who knows anything about dragons knows that they like to sit on a hoard of gold. So that is the limiting factor in maintaining a dragon as an NPC in any game of Dungeons and Dragons. Do you have the ability to provide and sustain a hoard of gold? Just something to think about for later. This dragon says to you, it's going to get its breath back, and then, now that it's got a lot more strength, a young dragon has got about 150 hit points, as opposed to a baby dragon that has about 30. This dragon tells you that it's gonna take some time. Charlie, can you do the voice? Just act. Can you? You do the voice of the dragon, Charlie, because I'll come up with something, but I wasn't envisioning a non-gender. I don't know what to do. I didn't even know what a slut drop was. I mean, like, you know,
I don't know what the dragon's going to say, unfortunately.
It's basically telling you it's going to hang out for a bit while it gets its breath back, and then it's going to start digging its way out of this area. It's far too big to go out the way that you came in, but there is a large amount of rubble at the north end of the tunnel, which is covering a very wide area, and it's going to have to dig its way out, basically. And
okay, so basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... that really took it out of me. I'm just going to, like... Because I don't think I can get out that way, but what I can do is I can just go like up that way, and I reckon I can tunnel out. Like, I reckon that's doable. So, like, thank you so much. I hope to see you guys later. I've got to go and find my family, because I really hope that green dragon didn't like hurt my brothers and sisters. So I'm just gonna go that way, try and find them. And also, if you see a big mound of gold, can you let me know?
Wingway says...
I feel like you should have added a brother.
Wingway just takes out a piece of paper, draws a small picture of the dragon, and just says, "You said your name was Dabshaba?"
As a pleasure.
But my stage name is Gorgeous.
All right, Gorgeous.
No, Cinco.
All right, Gorgeous, says Wingway. I've got this thing called Spell of Sending, and if I ever want to get in touch with you, I'll send you a sending spell.
Oh, cheers, babe.
See you later.
Can its stage name not be Treacle? Come on. Make
Okay.
it Treacle.
I hate that.
I know, that's why I chose it.
And Dabshaba's like, yeah, you will get in contact, won't you? You know, so she doesn't want this just to be a phone call. You know, she...
No, you will call me though, right? Yeah. Because
Wingway's like, don't worry, love. Don't worry, love. Spell of Sending. Anywhere we are in the world, is anywhere we are on this plane, I can send you a sending spell, and you will hear it, and you'll be able to respond to me. I'll be able to tell you where we are, and you'll be able to come and meet us.
Oh, like 5G?
Kind of like that, but it's limited to 25 words.
Oh, like Twitter?
What would Dragon Twitter be called? Raw. No.
Grrr.
It'd be called Breath. No, I don't know what noise dragons make.
Sneer.
Drago.
Yeah.
Sneer, did you say?
Sneer.
Snitter.
Excellent.
Snitter. Okay. She's I'm just
a very strange term,
because I don't know whether it's he or she. I'm confused. I'm the oldest millennial in the world, all right? You know, I'm supposed to get this shit, but I just don't.
Eat it out.
Don't get me wrong. I respect everyone, okay? But I used to use a 5K modem.
Good old dial-up.
Yeah, exactly.
I must be the baby of the group because I have no idea what Matt just said.
I turned 18 in the first month. I turned 18 in the first month of the year 2000, which makes me a millennial, but literally less than a month within the bounds of millennialness. Right?
Yeah.
Dre is technically not.
10.
Dre is technically not a millennial. No, you're not. You're a year older than me. You didn't turn 18. You turned 18 in 1999.
No, I was 18 in 2000.
But you had to turn 18 in that time. You turned 18 in 1999, which makes you a month in November 1999, which makes you a month too late. Sorry, Dre, you're not a millennial.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I'm the oldest millennial. You're the youngest, like, one that came before that, which was Generation Next or something?
Why? Generation Y bother?
Generation Tech?
Yeah.
Wait, Wait, I was
Alright, just-
18 in 2008. What would that make me?
You're a millennial.
Young.
You that makes you a millennial. 18 in 2008. If you turned 18 between January 2000 and December 2009, then you're a millennial.
Just so that we can share experiences here. Matt, do you want to explain what a 5K modem is to Kayla? As she did explain to you what a slut drop was.
Okay. You know how when you download, right, you can get it's measured in megabits per second, right?
Yeah.
Well, when
English term.
When you're downloading, it says megabytes.
Oh, okay.
it's
You said
actually
megabits. That's why I was confused.
Megabits.
Yeah.
Megabytes. Yeah, megabit is megabits per second. That means 1,000,000 bits per second. When I was a kid, I had a computer, and I had one of the first modems, and that was a 5K modem, which meant that the maximum speed that it could go at was 5 KB, not 5 MB, right? So that's 1,000 times slower than 5 megabyte per second internet. If
You'd load a picture and it'd load.
Download a picture, just not even a video. Download a picture and it would
Okay.
just.
Okay, I have to ask, and this is purely my curiosity. How the fuck did you guys survive with porn?
And the funny thing is, that's a good one. The funniest thing is, it plugged into your phone line, right? You didn't have a separate phone line and internet line. So if somebody else picked up the phone in the other room, they'd just get the sound of internet noise. It would just go fucking hell. You'd put it down, and that would fuck up your download, and you'd have to reload the page.
Mom, you're ruining my porn again.
And this is
I
no
knew
joke.
about dial-up time, but I didn't realise that it fucked up your downloads if you picked up the phone.
Yeah. And this is
Shit!
this is the truth, right? When you turn on
When
you turned on your internet, you'd have to click on your AOL server. Do you remember when it was that, like America Online? You'd have to click on the AOL server to start it up. That'd be like opening Google, but it was a bigger operation than that. Your computer wasn't always online. It would only go
Was
online.
AOL before or after Internet Explorer?
AOL was before. And basically, you double click on AOL.
Okay, now I'm really showing my age because I didn't actually get onto the internet until we had Internet Explorer.
No, that's fine. That makes sense. You double click on AOL or whatever was your or Demon. That was a big outfit back then.
That's the thing with the little yellow blobby dude.
And you'd
that
hear
looked like it was
from your computer, not even from the speakers, from the fucking computer, it would go. Dial tone. You'd hear a dial tone, and then it would go dee doo 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 dee doo doo. Dang, dang, dang.
Oh god.
You've heard the noise.
Then there'd be a pause.
Wait, Matt, you can't forget the good dun.
Yeah, good dun. It had all these sounds. It was like the sounds you'd associate with a kind of Japanese TV game show. It was ludicrous, and you'd have to go through that every bloody time. But anyway, yeah.
Oh dear God.
This dragon
So
was born well.
I'm not
after.
sure. Wait, just
without internet.
Just before we move on with the actual story, I'm not sure what was less helpful to general cultural appreciation. Whether it was explaining something that's completely outdated as a piece of technology that Kayla's never going to need or never need to understand, or
Might go to Africa.
or the description of a slut drop.
The six.
I can demonstrate if you want.
Neither of you needed this
I'm gonna say
information,
right
but
now,
for some reason you both got it now.
That would be good for the video. I'm going to cut out most of this, so it would just have no context. It would just be like, just pause, break, and just say slut drop, and then. And Pride Month, I'd probably get crucified by the hashtag #MeToo crowd for using the word slut. Okay.
Hey, it's what they call it. Damn sluts.
Are we going to drop back into the game?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool.
Well, do you want to go make a coffee?
Okay, you guys exit.
I'm awake. I got a boost from the coven. I got a wake up boost.
Do you mind
guys
grabbing my
finished?
Dr.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just gonna go grab him a Dr Pepper.
My only
Ooh,
Dr.
Dr.
Pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah, I bought him a crate of like.
Oh, grab me a
18
glass.
cans.
I've got my Metax out here as well.
Okay. Yeah, I got him a box of like 18 cans for like $6.75 in Tesco's.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's
He
sweet.
got a big box of Dr Peppers.
So my bins are literally littered with like Dr. Pepper cans.
Mine's just like takeaway boxes, empty wine bottles, empty vodka bottles, empty Stella cans. Yeah, I should
Right.
really sort my life out at some point.
While I'm down
Mo-
here
most
and I've
people
got
have,
this
like,
pot
at some
in
point,
hand.
Cans. Most people have heaps of cans like in their room or sort of like strewn out. Charlie's have bins there so much they're like canagtites.
Right, boys. While I'm in the kitchen and I've
Start
got this
taping them
pot
together.
in
I'm
hand,
so disappointed
Staff
that
out.
I made that joke in an area that I'm going to cut out.
Just
Before
cut
we
back
carry
into
on
the
with the
joke and then
game,
cut out again.
Yeah, go on, Kayla.
I've got a cup to show you guys. Now, I had to read this twice because I misread it the first time. I read that as a good man is hard to find.
I read it the way that it was written the first time and I got the joke.
Yep. Yep,
I had a
and that
pimple on the
cup
over
doesn't
that day.
lie.
And I don't even need it explained to me. So yeah, the dragon is resting itself a bit, getting its breath back. It's been trapped for 2 days and a bit more since the
Aww.
earthquake
shit,
happened. So it probably contemplated
You just see the
the
disappointment.
Oh, no, wait.
possibility of its death on many occasions during this time. Don't know if you've ever read Touching the
Just a
Void.
water in it.
It's very pleased with you guys. It's very happy with you guys. It loves you.
I'm going to go get it rinsed out.
Alright.
And something that you might that any of you might know. It's a little bit more sort of in-depth sort of dragon knowledge, but young dragons don't return to their mother's nest. Once a dragon becomes a young dragon, it flies off to find its own horde. So it's probably not on its way back to its mum. It's just
I bet mum want to look after its like brothers and sisters, isn't it?
maybe, but they were all born at the same time.
In
They
it,
were
bruv.
they were a clutch.
Yeah, but it doesn't know the other ones are going up properly yet. Might have like little ones that like take a little bit longer to like grow and like develop properly. So it might want to look after them for a sec.
I think they were probably on one of their last flights together as a group of siblings before they were gonna.
Yeah, but no,
They
you
were
know,
gonna
you want to stay in
develop
touch,
and then
innit? Just in case
scatter.
you need to borrow money in the future, like just in case they got hoard and you don't.
One minute. Not it.
Bronze
Chill out,
dragons have
be
got
sure.
really cool effects for their lairs. They can make smoke and music, and things like that. So it's like a small sort of.
What's this thing?
I'm not. They might if you cast dancing
What?
lights in there, you know, it'd be a proper disco.
Why didn't you inform me of this beforehand? I'm a bard, and this dragon can create
Only if it's
smoke.
only in
and-
its lair.
I don't care. I'll invite people.
That's cool. Well, you've got to find a lair for it then, Charlie. I mean, like
Yeah, I will.
You know.
It's alright, I can sleep in
top
my room.
priority.
they
Sleep in my
so
room, it's
bronze
fine.
dragons, because they like swimming in the sea, they go for coastal caves and areas like that.
Excellent.
To have their lairs. You know this. You know all of you together. Generally, all of your knowledge put together, you generally understand quite a bit about bronze dragons, even though you have to kind of communicate little bits of information to one another. You know enough between you to know enough about bronze dragons to know that, you know, I heard that they swim. Oh yeah, I knew too. They breathe lightning. They obviously like to have a horde, but they want to have a horde that's in a lair close to the coast. They can create smoke, pardon me, in their lairs, and sound like music if they wanted to.
All right. So Christopher says,
you're chatting about all of this as you're walking through the south exit of this cavern and on towards the next area. Now, Davina,
just as long as Wingway lets me know as soon as this dragon has a lair. So I'm putting on a gig. It's happening.
Putting on a gig.
Gig night.
Davina has light as well, and Davina as a kind of what do you call it? Olive branch to Triezamine casts light on Triezamine's sword.
Ooh.
What does lights do?
Light will you touch one object that is no larger than 10 feet in any dimension until the spell ends.
My dick's out of question.
This lasts 1 hour. The object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. The light can be coloured as you like.
Purple.
Green.
Davina cast it.
On my sword.
Davina
Purple.
cast it as white light because that's what Wingway cast on and has been repeatedly casting on his staff. So you now have two sources of light. One coming from Wingway, who's generally at the back, and one coming from Triezamine, who's generally at the front. So you've got your party well sorted. Okay.
Wait, what happened to the lanterns?
They ran out.
They ran out of,
Oh, okay.
of oil, I'm afraid. We could have cast light on the lanterns, but hat on a hat, cast it on your sword.
Might last longer on the sword.
You enter a chamber. And this chamber has no apparent exit other than the one that you've come through. You can see this because it's not the biggest chamber in the world. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, your dim light as you enter the chamber extends to all 4 walls. And you can see that there is no apparent exit. There is some debris on the floor, some rubble. That's in the far corner. There is an altar on the far wall. This is a 40-foot by 30-foot room, so it's not very big. There is an altar. And
where are we in this room?
You're entering it in the south, the bottom right.
Bottom right.
You're entering it from the bottom right.
Oh, is it 40 foot top to bottom?
No, 30 foot up, 40 foot across. Right. So as you enter, your dim light extends to the end of the room, and you can see that there is no exit to this room, or no apparent exit to this room, other than the way that you came in.
Cool.
This crumbling chamber is dominated by an altar against the far wall, above which hangs some kind of construct gearwork mechanism ending in a massive maul, like a massive hammer. The wall to the left of the altar has fallen in and spread rubble across the floor, but that doesn't provide an exit. On the floor near the altar is a golden device resembling an Ori housing. This is like a clock, resembling a clock. The device is battered and falling apart, revealing exposed gears and spokes, and with its exterior pieces and plating scattered across the floor. Splayed on the ground next to the device is the corpse of a dwarf. In the southwest corner of the room stands a muscular female dressed like a city watchman. Her eyes are closed and she breathes deeply as though resting. Now, I'd like you... Wingway is going to roll immediately as he enters this room. You can search the corpse. But Wingway, as you're doing that, is going to roll an Arcana check. And I should know that by heart by now. Oh, great! You got 18. Wingway's just like, fuck me, don't touch the altar. Wingway can see that the altar and the maul mechanism are linked in some way. They're highly magical and are linked in some way. And Wingway is just like, yeah, he's not too sure about this massive hammer that seems to be magically attached to this altar. The clock also radiates magic, but doesn't seem to be attached to anything except that it seems to want to be attached to. It wants to be put back together. It sort of strands of magical energy connect the different parts of the clock. Dragon, you searched the corpse.
Yes.
You find a small stack of you find a sword. You find things that you'd normally associate with an adventurer, some rations, things like that. But you also find a small stack of cards, and they all say Karen the Adventurer on them.
I'm assuming that's the dead dude.
That's the dead
business cards.
He's got a stack of them. Unless he asked the dude for a stack of his cards, this is probably the guy who had the card. And if you'll remember, that's the card that you found, Triezamine, on the goblin. It said Karen the Adventurer. You would remember this. You know, it was weeks ago for us, but for you guys, it was hours ago.
Yeah, I do believe that card is still in my pocket.
You can compare them if you want, and if you do, they look identical.
Awesome.
So this seems to be Karen the Adventurer, or at least his body
was
Karen the Adventurer.
Tradesman.
Yeah.
Do you have any spells that bring shit back to life?
I don't think so.
This guy has been dead for 2 days. He ain't come back to life. But Davina does have a spell, Speak with Dead. So you can talk to this guy. You won't bring him back to life, but you will be able to talk with his spirit.
Yeah, Davina, can we talk to the dead guy before we talk to the weird person in the corner that's clearly having a manic episode?
Okay. Let me just read. You can ask the corpse up to 5.
I cast Mage Hand, by the way, Matt.
Okay, you've cast Mage Hand. That's good. So you've got it ready.
Yeah.
The corpse knows only what it... You can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages that it knew. The corpse is under no compulsion to tell you the truth if it thinks that you're an enemy. And it doesn't bring it back to life, basically, is what it's saying. So I'm going to cast that. Well, Davina's going to cast that. And you see, appearing in front of you, standing over the corpse of Karen the Adventurer, a spectral image of Karen the Adventurer, who looks a little surprised to be there. And he just looks at you and says, "Don't touch the altar."
Cool.
Noted.
You didn't even have to ask him anything. He was very adamant. Don't touch that fucking altar.
Christopher looks at Karen the Adventurer and goes,
Remember, 5 questions.
yeah.
His answers can be sentences, but the longer the answer, the more sort of cryptic and weird the response is going to be. So if you ask him sort of like describe your childhood, by the time it gets into the third or fourth sentence, it's going to be some weird ass shit.
We've all been there. Right. I go, first off, sorry, I know what it's like to be dead. It's a weird experience. Just a few questions. Thanks for letting us know about the altar, by the way.
Dead? No, he's not.
Yes. Sorry. You are.
He looks down at the body at his feet, and he's just like, oh well. Suppose I'm in that great mine in the sky now, or that
Cool.
great mine in the earth. He's a dwarf. I think I mentioned that.
Yeah. There's So Chris goes, cool. Thanks so much. Thanks for your time. While you're here, did anyone in particular send you?
He says, I came myself to destroy the Ori of yourself. It's got a special name. Hey, I came myself to destroy the Ori. Let me just find what it's called. Oh, it's Ori of the Wanderer, isn't it? I came myself to destroy the Ori of the Wanderer.
What is the Ori of the Wanderer?
It's a very powerful magical device that is not wieldable by anyone from this plane, and which I was worried would fall into the wrong hands.
I'm guessing you'd like us to complete that mission.
Says,
How do you recommend doing it, having failed?
You're welcome to take the Ori with you, but for God's sake, don't place it on the altar.
Cool.
Place it on the altar.
So you recommend take the Ori, but don't place it on the altar.
Take the Ori from this place. Make sure that it does not fall into the wrong hands. I placed it on the altar to try and destroy it, as this is a place to bring magical items to destroy. But when I placed it on the altar and it activated the giant hammer, the hammer was unable to destroy it and instead created an earthquake, which in turn killed me.
How much does the Ori weigh?
You asking him or are you asking me?
I'm asking him. It's my fifth and final question.
He says you can hold it under your arm.
So not very.
Oh, you can.
So it weighs less than
you can
that.
carry it in one hand. It's a clock.
Oh,
It weighs like that.
excellent.
With this,
Thank you, Colin. Enjoy that.
with this,
I hope
Karen
you have a
says,
good
"Live
time.
long and prosper."
Mhm.
He says,
Thanks.
you have and will always be my friend, and just sort of shrinks back and disappears.
Toodaloo.
Excellent.
Wingway, who has
That's a weird hand
while
gesture.
this has been,
Gesture.
yep. Wingway, while
I can't
this
do it.
discussion has been taking place, Wingway has been examining the clock without touching it and the pieces on the floor. And he says, I think I can pick up these pieces and just put them in my bag and it's not going to do me any damage. They don't seem to be dangerous.
Can't you
Although
cast mending on the mechanism
You can.
and fix it back up?
I could. Or.
Before we continue,
Wait. Go on.
everything that we've found previously, looting all the bodies, I'm just going to hand to Wingway to put in his little bag so that, like, none of it gets taken away from us later.
Okay, Wingway has another small bag inside his bag. He puts everything into that little bag that you found and puts it in,
Awesome.
except the large sword
Yep.
with the sword of +1 with the
The skull, that's
skull.
fine.
It's not a skull, it's a skeletal hand.
That's mine.
Skeletal hand grip. That's yours, and it
But Jasmine, also don't hand over the gems. He's got his gems.
Well, if I keep the gems on me, we're going to lose them when we walk out of this.
Wingway says, "I'm going to keep them in a separate bag.
Really.
This bag is going to be marked. You know that I got it from this."
I don't like handing too much power over to the DM.
Remember, Wingway is still in pretty much in thrall of your spell of mass suggestion that lasts a year and a day. And
yes, what do I forget about it being a year and a day? It's not like I've got a calendar, and if I did, I'd end up putting it in his bag.
True.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. You make your own decisions. I mean, Kayla said that she was going to do something. You told her not to. I'm not getting in the way. Wingway's just standing there like he sees you two arguing and goes back to the Ori and just sort of like thinking about it. Wow, this is an amazing item. He's thinking this is like one of the most magical things I've ever seen.
So the Ori that's on the altar,
it's not on the altar. It's on the floor next to the altar, as though it fell from You gleaned from Karen that Karen placed the Ori on the altar. It activated the big hammer, which smashed the Ori. It broke it into pieces, but didn't destroy it. And the consequential burst of energy caused the earthquake.
Right.
That hurt our friendly dragon.
Can I do?
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether it be
at this point you hear a blast from the other room, as though as though a very large amount of debris has just suddenly been blown out the way. And the falling of rocks.
As our friend fucks off.
Well, you hear that? You're not sure.
I said as though our friend fucked off.
I have to restart D&D Beyond. Crashed on me.
So, can I just do a quick? I don't know whether it be Arcana or Investigation. If I can find out like the main element from the
Ori. You're gonna have to do an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Yeah. It's blatantly obvious to you. You don't need Arcana.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one. I got a +1 on Arcana.
It's a 21.
21. Okay, you can see that multiple parts of the Ori, different cogs and dials, are magic, but they're magic in different ways. Some of them are transmutation. Some of them are thaumaturgy. Different schools of magic, different parts of the clock come from, and you get the sense with the 21 that when assembled, they might be able to cast a form of magic that used all the different schools of magic in one way. But since there's nobody, as Karen has told you, there's nobody on this plane who could use that. It would require too many hands on it to be able to control it. He's decided to destroy it, but you can see that just one cog of this, if you were to wield one cog, it could be a terrible weapon, or maybe a wonderful thing that allows you to travel in time or something like that. But you're not sure what each of the things do. That would take much more examination. But you can see that every different part of the Ori is magic, except possibly the housing. No, the housing is magic too. And you notice that the housing is actually gently, very slowly repairing itself.
Okay, can I use the mage hand just to pick up one random cog?
Yes.
And take that while Wingway picks up the rest of it.
Okay, so you
And at
take
this
one
point,
random
I'm
chunk.
calling the clock Cogsworth.
Wingway puts the rest in his bag. Okay.
Unless anyone else wants to try and nick something.
Now that was a random cog. I'd like you, Jelly, to roll a d6.
You sure?
What did you get?
No, I was just wanting.
Because I was questioning it. Yeah. I know it's Appendix D. I can just never find it. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. Don't roll a d6.
Yeah. 1.
Okay, great. Wingway puts all the other bits in his bag carefully. He has little storage compartments and things like that inside this. Basically, inside the sack, it's about 5 by 5 by 5. It's a 5-foot cube. But he has various different nooks and crannies, and he makes sure that he places these bits where he knows where they are.
Does it look like a toolbox when he opens it up?
Yeah, kind
it
of.
Just continues on forever.
It would do like that, but it's more like he opens it. You have to go inside it. It's not like a
Oh, Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah, it's like a Mary Poppins bag, exactly. Yeah.
I was more thinking like the toilet from Trainspotting.
Same thing.
Okay, great. You've picked up all the parts of the Ori. You've talked to Karen, and luckily Karen has provided you with a lot of the info that you would have got had you spoken to anybody in this. And he's been able to provide you with a lot more information only because you caught Davina, and she had Speak with Dead. And she only had Speak with Dead because Wingway gave her that copy of his new spell book, of his ancient spell book that he from his days at university.
So in other words, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah,
seems to have done. There seems to be one last thing to tie up. And
can I use my mage hand to go and slap the bitch in the corner, please? Just to make sure she's awake.
Give her a tap on the shoulder.
No, just like, hello?
Hello. Yeah, okay.
We're going to end up fighting her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is that why you want to get like one hit point damage on the slap?
No, just like.
Okay, I want you to roll.
That's not even a hard slap.
You've had a massive Arcana check, Charlie.
Yeah.
That didn't just give you information about the Ori, the clock. It also gave you a sort of sense that there was some sort of magic connecting the watchman with the altar. I'd like you to roll a wisdom insight, an insight check, please.
An insight check.
At advantage because you've got such a good Arcana thing.
All right. Thank you. They're both going to be shit rolls, but 13.
You just make it.
I thank fuck for that.
Okay, you intuit or insight. There is no verb for insight. That's why I say intuition, because you intuit. Fuck it. You intuit that she is not in control of her actions, and that it is actually the altar that is controlling her.
Sorry, that was absolutely best timing for my internet to cut out. Was you intuit?
Would you like me to repeat what you intuit?
Yes.
You intuit
Yes.
that that she is not in control of her actions, and it is actually the altar that is in control of her. She is like a puppet of the altar. You intuit this from your Arcana check.
Okay. In that case, can I attempt? Hang on, I'm not sure if I can. Actually, no, I can't. Damn. Can we back away slowly?
Yeah.
Unless anyone else wants
Towards
to try
what?
and
Towards what?
the exit.
The exit.
Unless anyone else wants to try and tap this bitch, but we're going to have to knock 7 bells out of her and then bring her back to life.
Could be done.
Yeah? Alright, well, you guys do. I'm just going to go. I think I dropped something nearer the back. I'm just going to go that way a little bit. If you guys just go, yeah.
You've been down here now for a good 10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to take a long rest, I think that would be completely
Yeah, but how long after death can we bring someone back to life?
You don't get the impression that she's dead.
I'm not sure she would currently be classed as dead.
You don't get the impression that she's dead.
Okay.
You just get the impression that she's imagine like she's been charmed.
So, new plan, guys. Let's all have a nap. We'll take it in turns to watch the clearly creepy person in the corner that's heavily armoured and has been military trained.
Wingway says, look, I don't think we should go to sleep in this room. Let's go back to where that dragon was and hang out with him. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Them. Ashaba.
Hermaphrodite dragon.
Anyway.
Alright. Let's go and do that. If you guys are up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Wingway makes it clear he's not going to be comfortable sleeping in this room with this zombie-looking person in the corner and this incredibly huge magical hammer on the wall.
Yeah, well, I was
Makes
trying
sense.
to ignore the hammer.
Yeah, Wingway found it very difficult to ignore the hammer.
It's broken.
Just don't look at it.
Yeah. Wingway, it's fine. Just pull your cloak down a little bit more. Pull your hat down.
Wingway's already left the
Sleep
room.
back to
Wingway.
Where's a pussy?
Wingway.
You see
Where'd
his
you
light.
go?
You see his light disappearing down the thing. Davina's like,
Hey. Sit.
definitely lawful evil.
Tresmaine, keep an eye
Yeah.
on that one. Keep an eye on that one.
Every time you say
On
Tresmaine,
Wingway
I
or the
just
crazy
hear
one?
red roses too.
Cortana.
Am I watching
Oh.
Wingway or the crazy one?
Wingway had started to go down the thing, and now he's noticed that you guys are not following him, and he's just like, well, I'm not walking out of range. That I'm not going to walk so far that I can't see these guys. I don't know what's around the corner.
Oh,
Okay, fine. Wingway, we'll have it your way. You guys go through. Sleep with Wingway.
Okay,
Not in that one. Not like that.
you guys are going to walk back to the dragon chamber, right?
No, Christopher isn't.
Christopher isn't. Christopher's going to hang out in the the
Oh.
shrine of destruction.
Yes. He's going to have a long rest whilst like cuddling Odyssey, going and
Okay.
trying to achieve slightly
Guys,
more.
talk amongst yourselves. Cut
And scene.
and see.
Action!
Okay. So Wingway is going to cast something cool. Wingway says, everybody gather around me.
Before or after the long rest?
Before. Wingway casts Leoman's Tiny Hut. You have to be close to him when he does this.
Yeah, I'm not. Good shout. I like Leoman's Tiny Hut.
Yeah. A 10-foot radius, immobile dome of force springs into existence above and around you and remains stationary for the duration, which is 8 hours. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit into the dome with you, so that's basically everybody who's with him. As long as Trias, Mean and Dragon are happy being inside the dome. You can leave it and come back into it as long as you're inside it when the spell is cast, and it will last 8 hours and nothing can get in, and you can have an 8-hour rest.
Yay!
Hey.
Okay, I'm just going to assume that you guys are taking your 8-hour rest. Wingway is.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, Christopher is in the Room of Death.
Does that mean my heal point will heal?
Oh yeah, you. I think on a long rest, Ray, you get you return to your max strength.
Yeah.
It was only 1 point, but
Christopher is the only person who has hung out outside the dome and will not be able to enter for 8 hours. And he's got no light source with him. And the Shrine of Destruction has no. But I suppose it's at this point that you notice a small green glow coming from the altar and the hammer. So it doesn't cast light in any real way, but it means that you can see it, and that's all. It doesn't cast light any further than that. So you have a night light, but that's about it.
Cool.
You were unable to tell that it glowed before because you all had bright light. But being in pitch darkness, Christopher makes his bed next to the 2-day-old body of a dwarf. 2.5-day-old body of a dwarf, which at this point has started to turn slightly green.
I'm nearer to the door than I am the altar.
And its eyes sort of swelling almost to bursting point.
I'm sort of staring at the altar from the other side of the room.
Does he wake up cuddling it?
You're nearer to the exit, basically. I don't care where you are in the room, as long as you don't touch the altar, you're not going to die.
I might roll over.
Christopher makes his bed on the altar. The large hammer smashes him to pieces. Christopher wakes up in the waiting room of hell, holding an 18-digit number in his hand. Looks up at a counter on the wall. It just says 3. Looks down at his number again, which is 18 digits long. He looks back up at the number, and it sort of flicks to 2. He's like, fucking hell.
I saw that movie.
Yeah, so near the exit.
That didn't happen. Christopher didn't make his bed on the altar. But I'm imagining you're not snuggling up. You're not spooning this dwarf, though.
No, I'm far away from the corpse and even further away from the zombie-esque thing in the corner.
So just in the entrance to the room.
That
would be far away from the altar and even further away from the thing. I mean, like.
Tries to use this time to attune to Odyssey.
Okay, is that long rest attunement or short rest attunement?
Long rest.
Long rest attunement. Okay, great. Roll D100 twice for me, please.
141 in total.
141.
Total. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
try balancing it a little bit better?
No, it won't.
You guys all sorted out
I thought I was just trying pure refusal. Try balancing it a little bit better? No.
Especially when my cat keeps on messing with my charging wire and knocking my phone off. I think she heard. She jumped off.
Wingway wakes up just as the Learman's tiny hut fades around him. And since light has run out at this point, that he's next to his staff, he sleeps with it. He just casts light on the end of his staff and pokes Dragon, Kayla, and Davina to wake you guys up.
Sorry,
Davina again
Dragon,
casts.
Davina, and who?
You.
Oh, did I say Kayla?
He called me Kayla.
Triazamine.
Oh yeah, imbibe.
So,
I think the word you're looking for is imbibe.
Yeah. I'm tired, Libby.
Don't mind if I do.
Davina again casts light on your sword, Triazamine. And she looks
Yay.
at you, Dre, like, huh? You want?
Yeah, why not?
She casts light on your...
Pulls out sword.
Cool. She casts light on your sword as well, so you've got 3...
Is that a cantrip? Or...
Yep.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah, great. So, Wingway's going to say, let's go and see if he's dead. And he sort of beckons you to come. He wants to lead the way, but he's learnt that he's generally put in the back of the group.
I'm pretty sure Dragon and Trisman, considering their main incentive is to keep me alive, would have done this themselves without...
Yeah, the thing is, he woke up first.
All right.
Dragon, very difficult to get up. Very difficult to wake up.
Tell me about it.
Maybe holds off on the light for a bit.
Yeah, not much has changed with me.
Yeah.
Sleep through a fucking earthquake.
Yeah.
Which is useful, because there might be one. There might have been one.
Yeah.
We don't know.